Everybody, welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm going to show you everything has been added to Minecraft Snapshot 22w11a. So if you like Minecraft videos like this one, then please make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Minecraft 1.19 news and other Minecraft videos. And so this video is also streamed at the same time, so there will be no editing in this video. And so this also means this is my first look at all the new additions in this very first snapshot for 1.19. That's not experimental. And yes, from the thumbnail you've already seen that there is quite a lot of new things that were added to this snapshot. We'll be going over all of these in this video. And so let's just get started. So I'll get the changelog, there we go. We also got a new Bedrock beta or preview today, which added a new goat horn into game, which has some different sounds. I'll probably cover this in next week's news video, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that. But let's just go through 22w11a. So first of all, let's go through the changes and additions we've already seen in previous snapshots, and then we'll go over to the new stuff. So first of all, there is the deep dark biome. So we can locate deep dark, or locate biome actually, deep dark, there it is. So this is now also in the normal snapshot, of course, but already in the experimental snapshot. I will leave a link to my review video of that snapshot in the top right of your screen, so you can check that out as well. We'll go through a little less detail here. So here we are at the deep dark, of course, it's a biome that generates underground. And this is what it will look like. So it is also a little bit different than in the previous video where we covered this, because previously there were only a couple of patches of sculk, and now there is way more sculk here in this deep dark biome. So let's give ourselves some night vision like this. Sure, 0 true, there we go. And so this is what the deep dark biome now currently looks like. We can see some sculk catalysts. There are some sculk sensors. There are no sculk shriekers though. So the sculk shriekers will be able to summon the warden if you activate them. So apparently they don't generate here in the deep dark biome. As you can see, there are no sculk shriekers anywhere over here. But they should still be able to generate in the ancient cities. Which I don't know if they were already added here. Let's check. No, okay, ancient cities were not added here just yet, just the deep dark biome with the different sculk blocks, the sculk sensor, the sculk catalyst, the sculk block, the sculk vein, and then I suppose we also have the sculk shrieker, but let's see if we have that. So here we go, sculk, yes, there it is, the sculk shrieker, that's this block over here, which would be able to summon in the warden, which is currently not in this snapshot just yet. It is still in the experimental snapshot. And if you want to know how to download that snapshot, I also have a video on that. So check that out. Link is in the top right of your screen. Of course, not for people watching the stream, but for people watching the video. Alright, and so nobles will be able to generate in this deep dark biome. But let's move on to frogs and tadpoles. So these were already added into Minecraft Bedrock Edition, but now they're also here in Java Edition in the first snapshot. So we can look for frog, and we have some different blocks here. So we have the normal frogspawn egg, and we have 3 types of froglights, and then also frogspawn. So again, if you want to know more about this, then check out the video I made on the Bedrock Edition version of this, where I go into way more detail on this edition. But oh wow, look at this. This is a skull cave if I've ever seen one. What? Oh wow. Okay, this is incredible. Yeah, sorry about that small deviation here, but just had to look at this cave here. But now let's go back up to the surface and take a look at the frogs. Here we are, alright, go back into creative mode and let's summon in a frog. So this is what the frogs looks like, and this is the orange version. So this one generates just anywhere in your world, and it's actually the swamp version. There are 2 more versions. There's one that only generates in the snowy areas, and that is, well, alright, maybe not. Let's see. Ah, there we go, there it generates. Here we are in the snowy biome apparently. There's the green frog. And there's also a 3rd variant, which we can check out if we go over to a desert. Sure, let's locate the desert pyramid. That works as well. And yes, okay, 3,300 blocks away. That's quite far away, but let's teleport over there, because we can take a look at the 3rd variant of the frog, which is a tropical frog. So let's go down here and summon in a frog, and we'll see the white tropical frog here. So these frogs can jump, they can swim, they can walk on land, and they can croak, which we see here happening as well. And so these frogs will actually be able to eat both slimes and magma cubes, but only the smallest versions. So we can summon in a slime and a magma cube, so we'll see that happening. So if a frog eats a small slime, let's see, can we see that happening? There we go. You get a slime ball like this. So this can be used to make some slime farms. And if they eat a small magma cube, something different happens. There we go. You get one of these froglight blocks. And so the type of froglight depends on the type of frog that eats the magma cube. As for example, the normal frog will drop the ochre froglight, the snowy frog will drop the verdant froglight, and this tropical frog will drop the pearlescent froglight. And as the name already suggests, yes, these will give off some light. So if we go to time set 15,000 or night, whatever, and remove our night vision, of course, because that ruins the effect. So clear. There we go. So you can see it gives off a light level of, I believe, 15. Let's see. This is light level, yes, 15. Or, well, it's actually 14 here, but it should be 15 inside the block. And so, of course, this is the same for the 3 different types of froglight. So there's the green one and the yellow one as well, or ochre, whatever you want to call it. Alright, so that's the froglights, that's the frogs. I think that is that about. Yes, of course, and there's also tadpoles, because, well, frogs don't have baby variants, they have tadpoles as their baby variants. So let's set it back to daytime. Set day, there we go. And let's take a look at the tadpoles. Yes, tadpoles, I know what I'm talking about. Of course, there's also bucket of tadpole. But first of all, let's just summon in a tadpole with a spawn egg. There it is. That is what a tadpole looks like. And normally you would, of course, get them by breeding frogs. So let's see if that is already in here, breeding frogs. Was that not with slimeballs? Yes, slimeballs. You breed frogs with slimeballs. So you can breed these frogs. They should hopefully... Yeah, and there we go. We get some frogspawn, which is this block here. And okay, that's still a little bit buggy, but that works. And so these frog spawns will eventually turn into tadpoles after a while. But let's summon a couple of these tadpoles in the meantime. So this is the tadpole mob. It can swim in water, and on land they jump around like fish, like this. And they will eventually sadly perish. So please get out of the water, otherwise, come on. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. And so of course the tadpoles will grow up into frogs. And they grow up into the type of frog based on the biome where they were born in. So either cold, temperate, or warm frog. And then yes, they can also be caught in a bucket just like any other type of fish. And you can bring them along with you using that bucket of tadpole. Alright, so that's the frogs, the tadpoles, and the deep dark. Now let's go into the more interesting stuff that we really haven't seen before. And so to do that, let's go back to where we were at the start. Here we go. And we'll take a look at all of these blocks over here. So the mangrove swamp has not been added yet. So the biome, the mangrove swamp, that is not here yet. But all the blocks, like pretty much all the blocks, are already here. So that's really, really cool to see. And so first of all, we have just mangrove planks and mangrove wood. And so we'll take a look at these first. Alright. So this is the mangrove planks. And of course they come from mangrove wood. So the logs. Let's see if I can get those. Let's just stay here. Yeah, that makes more sense. So this is the mangrove log over here, which of course you can strip using an axe. And then, well, you'll probably just want to look at all the textures here. But there we go. You can strip that with an axe. Then you get this block here. There are, of course, also the other versions. So here are all the mangrove blocks. So there are also the wood versions instead of the logs that have the same texture on all sides. Those are also there. But that's these two over here. Then these are interesting. This is the mangrove roots and the muddy mangrove roots. So these will generate at the bottom of the mangrove trees and in the mangrove swamp. Along with, of course, a whole lot of mud, because the ground of the mangrove swamp will be completely covered in mud instead of grass. This is the texture for the mud. And then we have, of course, also the leaves. So, yeah, this is what the leaves will look like for the mangrove trees once those will add it into the game. And we have the propagules, which is this one over here. So a mangrove propagule is a sapling that grows from the bottom of a mangrove leaf. But for some reason I can't seem to place it on the bottom of a mangrove leaf. I can place it on grass for some reason, so this might still be a bug, or I'm just doing something wrong. That's also possible. And so you can also bone meal mangrove leaves to cause new propagule to start growing beneath it. Alright, let's see if that already works. So let's grab some bone meal and let's bone meal the mangrove leaves. Ah, look at that. There is the propagule. Then we can bone meal it into the second stage, the third stage, the fourth one, the fifth, and that's it. That's the full completed propagule. And I don't know what this is actually. That's a little bit strange. But yeah, let's see that once again. So we can bone meal the mangrove leaf. We get this texture, this one, this one, this one, and finally the full grown propagule. And you can break off a fully grown propagule and plant it like a sapling. For now, it will just grow an oak tree, so we can bone meal that and it will grow an oak tree. But of course, in the future, it will grow into a mangrove tree. So you can actually collect these. So let's go into survival mode here. And then we should be able to collect them. There we go. We break them and we get a mangrove propagule, which we can place down and then bone meal up into an oak tree currently. But in the future, a beautiful mangrove tree. Alright, and of course here are a whole lot more blocks as well. There's the pressure plate, there's also the button, which I didn't display here. But yeah, there's the mangrove button. It actually looks quite a lot like the crimson ones, but it's definitely different. It's definitely a different color. I like this this mangrove color actually, it looks pretty nice. And then there's the door, which, yeah, that's a pretty cool door actually, I like that one. So these are different types of doors we have currently. And it's quite a distinct door there. Also the trapdoor is quite distinct with the single hole in the middle, like this. Which can definitely be used for a lot of building options. There's the fence gate here, fence post, and of course you have the sign as well. So I think those are pretty much all the mangrove blocks here. And of course, there's also the boat, which we should take a look at. So let's go over to the water and put down the boat. There we go. Look at us in our mangrove wood boat. Beautiful. Alright. So yeah, that's a lot of blocks there, but that's not all the blocks that were added into this snapshot. This is a crazy snapshot for blocks, because we also have, well, the mud and mud bricks. And so when you walk on the mud actually, so if you walk on mud, let's actually go down and walk on this. You'll see that we actually shrink a bit into it, or sink down into the mud. And so this is just like soul sand, but it actually doesn't cause a slowdown. It's just that you fall down a little bit. That's pretty much it. Let's actually place some soul sand right next to it. And then we can see if there's a difference in height there. So we go on top of the soul sand, we shrink down. We go on top of the mud. And yeah, that's the same level, I think. Yeah, pretty much. But you get slowed down on soul sand, but not on mud. Alright. And you actually create mud by using a water bottle on dirt. So let's grab some dirt, or well, let's make some dirt available here. There we go. Let's grab a water bottle and then let's try to make some mud here. So just right click. Look at that. Oh, that's really easy. Alright. And you can also do this using a dispenser. So let's grab a dispenser and a lever. Or a button. Let's use the beautiful mangrove button, just because we can. So dispenser, there we go. Let's put a water bottle in there and a button. And there we go, we can turn this block of dirt into a block of mud. Then let's see, we also have the mud. We also have the mud bricks. Don't know what that lag spike was about. Let's grab a crafting table and then let's take a look at the recipes here. So of course the recipes for all the wood and the planks and stuff like that is just the same as other types of wood. But let's look at these mud recipes. So, oh, look at this. That's really interesting. So if we want to get packed mud, we actually have to use wheat and normal mud. So let's grab some wheat. That's quite an interesting recipe actually. So yeah, this may be a use. Now you finally have well, like a real use for building a wheat farm. Because of course you can get some bread from it, but now you can also get the packed mud from it. So let's grab a stack of packed mud. That is this block right over here. That's packed mud. Looks something like this. And then you can also turn this into bricks. So mud bricks. And there we go. 1 stack of packed mud goes to 1 stack of mud bricks. And that's this block here. Of course, you can turn these into the slabs, the stairs, and also the walls in the crafting table. But you can also use a stone cutter, like with any other type of stone. You can use a stone cutter, put in the mud bricks, and get these different types of blocks. And there we go. Beautiful. Alright. That is mud bricks. And of course, there's also the sculk blocks, yeah, which we pretty much also already covered. Then another thing that was added here is 3D directional audio, which sounds really cool. And so if you use headphones on Minecraft, then the audio should sound a whole lot better apparently. There are also a whole lot of technical changes to this snapshot, which I won't go into too much detail here. You can take a look at all of these technical updates and all the updates in general by taking a look at the patch notes I'll put in the description down below. But something interesting there is that, for example, we now have 3D world blending, which also means that cave biomes can also be blended well together with other biomes. And let's see, there are also a whole lot of bugs fixed, I think around about 30. Some are old, some are new, and if you want to read through them, as I said, patch notes are in the description down below. So there we go, that is Snapshot 22w11a. If you like this video, then please make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Minecraft 1.19 videos and other Minecraft videos. I want to thank my tier 3 member, the Smikkelaar. Thank you so much for becoming a tier 3 member. If you also become a member, click the blue join button below the video to check out the different tiers. But there we go. I hope you all enjoyed the episode in the next one. So until then, bye bye!